Well, this week I did a video about Tony Robinson, Baldrick of Blackadder fame. I like the last one, Blackadder Goes Forth. Let me know if you did, or did you like one of the others? Put your answer in the comments. Anyway, enough of that. Reason I did the video, Tony Robinson took part in a party political broadcast for the Labour Party. And I thought, what the hell's he doing? And I had a listen and I thought, same old rhetoric, same old stuff all over again. And then when I looked into it, you could see that he'd effectively fallen out of love with the Labour Party, a party he'd been a member of for at least 45 years, and then said, enough. So what's he doing? Well, I did this video, and as always, there were loads of comments. It was actually quite a popular video, and what I wanted to do was run through some of those comments and hear your points of view. So here we go. Now, where are we going to start? We have got David Davis. Robinson is an R.soul. That's a very good way of getting around the search parameters there. I like that. Trev Mack, I could say a lot, but I'd end up in the nick as we don't have free speech now. God help us in Labour or Conservative get in. I'd be borrowing a rubber boat to flee the country. Are there any countries that dish out hotels like we do? Or will I have to pay for my own? Looks like there are none, just us mugs. That's the way we're all starting to feel, isn't it, Trev? You don't know what's right anymore. And I wonder how many people are thinking about, getting on a boat and leaving. Gary Hart, I think entertainers should stay out of politics. Yeah, I do too, to be honest with you. We grow up with these people where we see them on the telly, they entertain us. There's various American celebrities as well, which I remember on the telly growing up with as a kid. And you see some of the things they come out with now from a political point of view. I'm not going to name any of them. They'd be pretty easy to find. And you think, really? It kind of shatters your childhood dreams. Blimsky, Rowan Atkinson should impersonate Khan ruthlessly. I reckon he'd do a good job of that as well. Franklin Nash, I'm so glad the internet wasn't really a thing when I was in my teens and 20s. All the dumb things I did are long gone. Well, that's it with the internet. Nothing's ever long gone. Once you put it, someone will find it somewhere. Ray Beer, there's no choice, just the illusion of having a choice. Well, it's the illusion they enforce on us by telling us we have no choice. And people need to start thinking about, the choice that we may have. I actually saw someone on Twitter that disagreed with me. Tories, Labour, Lib Dem, Greens, Reform, all the same. What is their vote for? Tell me. Vote for independent. What Tice here backdoor Tory? Well, how many people feel like that too? I mean, I know somebody that's all for reform, but I doubt Richard Tice. I suppose the proof's in the pudding, isn't it? Carol Ann Runcorn, horrid little man. And one thing I will say, and I haven't caught up with him yet, I'll be arranging a live stream with a member of Reform over the next week or two, where we're going to discuss a few things, including the public perception of, the party. Brawl Lad, Labour is a malignant Zionist establishment have organised mass immigration. Palestine has no connection to immigration. Robertson has been manipulated by the people who want to destroy his own culture to justify hate for defence. It's awful, isn't it? Ralph Simpson, a few years ago, I used to get the construction news called the Jackers Journal. The job section at the back was laden with jobs overseas. When Labour got voted in, I flew out. Happy days. I saw parts of the world worth seeing. Someone agrees. Rusty Camper, Tony Robinson is a big Remainer. Say no more. There are newspaper articles that I found when I was doing a bit of, well, what you call mugging up for that video, where you saw plenty of him giving it what for with that regard. Jeff, Andy, think you are correct. We're ready for a change. We live in Ashfield, and our vote is going to Lee Anderson now with reform. He's well liked here, a local man. That's what we need, isn't it? Local people who actually live in the area they want to represent. Something sadly lacking. You know, the Labour candidate that's going to be standing in my area, it's been parachuted in, basically. Wendy Rowland, nearly all the lovies are left wing. Yes, absolutely. And you look at some of them from, you know, the 80s, and you would have never have thought it come to this day and age, and they all show their political colours, don't they? Graham Corbin had a socialist pre-couple that we lacked for the worst. If the mainstream media and the establishment went to so much trouble to destroy him, they had something to fear. He had the biggest Labour membership in British history. That says something, especially when the members jumped ship under Starmer. I do remember that. And, you know, there was an effort, like Ed Miliband beforehand, there was an effort to completely annihilate into banter, just like Glenda Jackson and Robert Morley of old. Baldrick can afford to be a champagne socialist. I expect he'll be quite happy seeing Welsh Labour's 20k per annum for illegals duplicated in England too. You've got that. Paper mile, possible low emission zones everywhere. It's a disaster. Paint Slidge, didn't he plough through Miriam? Yeah, can't remember that one. Mr. Daisy May, I will support reform regardless for all the reasons you have expressed, Andy. I know the starting pistol hasn't been fired yet, but I wish Mr. Tice stopped being so nice and uttered a few broadsides at the enemy just to give them a taste of what's to come. You know, somebody said, is he trying to please everybody? I mean, I had a conversation again with somebody about what concerned me, and you know, this individual said to me, did he do these things to get people talking about reform? Who knows? But the press get hold of it as well, and that's how we form our opinions a lot of the time. So we have to watch it there also. Starver of the WEF who serves liar. I've not heard that one. Is not good news. We're doomed with the Labour Party. That does not represent the working people. I told my young Labour candidate would not be voting for him, no matter how good he is. Being ruled by them and Andy Burnham is a disaster. We all should be voting for independence, or dare I say it, reform. The Reform Party may not be 100% perfect, but it's far better than the other four, Conservative, Labour, Libs and Greens, and they're polling very heavily as well, improving every day. One more, Barton, you're being herded into the one party. Only the rich will survive. Well, that's said an awful lot as well, isn't it? Well, there you go, folks. There's some of your comments, and you're all pretty much saying the same thing. You're not having any of it. You won't believe what's being put on the telly in front of you, and you all have your own very similar opinions, which pretty much match up with mine. Well, thank you. Please make sure you hit the like button on this video. As always, it helps the algorithm spread it around. Subscribe to the channel. Share the hell out of my stuff. And while you're at it, here's another video for you to watch. And as always, I look forward to talking to you again very soon.